Kansas announced on Friday that guard Lagerald Vick will return for his senior after Vick initially declared his intentions to go pro on April 6. The surprising return of the 6'5" Vick, a starter on last Kansas Final Four team, is a major boost for a team that was already considered number one in the NBCSports.com preseason top 25. With Vick back in the Kansas lineup, it gives the Jayhawks a proven double-figure scorer who also doubles as the team's best returning perimeter shooter. And that perimeter shooting could be a huge difference for Kansas with a mostly new-look perimeter that will include Cal transfer Charlie Moore, sophomore Marcus Garrett and freshman Devin Dotson and Quentin Grimes. Kansas has a lot of talent in the mix on the perimeter. It was also going to be perimeter shooting that was a major question mark among that group. Moore should be a plus perimeter shooter, but Garrett was only 26% from distance last. Dotson and Grimes are more effective as downhill attacking guards. With Vick back in the mix, it reduces pressure on those guards, as well as the incoming Lawson brothers. Vick is there to knock down perimeter shots since he is ideal as knockdown shooting wing. Vick shot 37% from three-point range each of the past twos after a 47% clip as a freshman. He can make shots and get on rolls. While the late return of Vick makes for an interesting minutes dilemma for head coach Bill Self, now he has one of his deepest teams ever at Kansas. This team has multiple backups capable of playing good minutes next, and they shouldn't worry at all about depth after last's issues. If Vick can knock down perimeter shots and provide more floor spacing, then it makes Kansas that much more dangerous in the Big 12 and national title race. Vick will be the only senior on the Jayhawks next, and his unexpected return gives Kansas even greater pressure to make a title run if he knocks down perimeter shots like he's capable of. Oregon pulled in a solid transfer on Friday as guard Ahab Amin pledged to the Ducks on Twitter. The former Texas A&M guard led the nation at 3.4 steals per game during the 2015-16 as he also put up 16.9 points, 6.6 rebounds and 2.9 assists per game. The 6'4" Amin sat out last with a hip injury as he's immediately eligible as a graduate transfer. Originally committed to Nevada earlier this offseason, Amin found himself the victim of a scholarship crunch when Jordan Caroline and the Martin twins all opted to pull out of the 2018 NBA draft. Now with the Ducks, Amin should help offset the loss of freshman Troy Brown on the wing. Amin should provide immediate experience on both ends of the ball for Oregon as he gives head coach Dana Altman another talented perimeter threat to work with. The big question for Amin at Oregon will be his perimeter shooting, which was questionable at times during his 3-year career with the Islanders. Shooting 28% as a junior, Amin will have to knock down a higher clip in order to be at his best for Oregon next. After shooting 36% in a smaller sample size as a sophomore, there is some hope that Amin can be an effective perimeter option for a more talented offensive team. After a lot of consideration, I've come to a decision on where to finish my collegiate career. I would like to thank every school who's been recruiting me. I'm privileged to have got to know all these great people throughout the process. I've decided to be an Oregon Fighting Duck. pic.twitter.com/anfkezds. Ahab Amin at Ahab_Amin for June 29, 2018. Gonzaga junior forward Rui Hachimura started to show signs of his vast potential during Japan's recent appearance in the FIBA Basketball World Cup 2019 Asian qualifiers. The 6'8" Hachimura dropped 24 points and 7 rebounds in an impressive win for Japan over Australia as he showed a scoring package and an improved perimeter jumper. After only shooting 19% from three-point range as a sophomore last, Hachimura was 2 for 3 from distance, 10 for 18 field goals in the upset over Australia. Beginning to display his talents in 20.7 minutes per game last for the Bulldogs, Hachimura is expected to make a significant jump his junior as he'll be counted on to be more of a go-to player for Gonzaga. Hachimura finding his offense at multiple levels and going against NBA players like Matthew Dellavedova and Thon Maker is a positive sign in his development for next. Gonzaga is currently the number 2 team in the NBCSports.com preseason poll as Hachimura's development will be a big part of this team living up to the preseason hype. With a lineup of experienced players returning, including point guard Josh Perkins, wings Zach Norvell and Corey Kispert, and a front court of Hachimura and Killian Tilly, the Bulldogs have the talent to make major moves in college hoops next. In case you were wondering, incoming Duke freshman Zion Williamson still has hops. Here he is dunking from the free throw line. I'm told, per sources, that is hard to do. Drake dropped a new double album on Thursday night, unleashing 25 tracks for his fans to use to try and convince us that help's not the most overrated rapper on the planet. Since Drake apparently had no interest in taking another L from Pusha T, Big Blue Nation's most famous member instead opted to fire shots at Rick Pitino. On the song Sandra's Rose, Drake had the following to say: Louisville hush money for my young gunners, Rick Pitino, I take them to strip clubs and casinos. That's not bad. I wonder who wrote that line for him. Chris Webber's lengthy estrangement from Michigan is about to come to an end thanks to his relationship with football coach Jim Harbaugh. For years, the fellow Wolverine alums have been in contact about Webber's potential return to Ann Arbor. He's asking me maybe 3 years in a row to come back, Webber said Thursday on the Dan Patrick Show. His response, though, was always the same. I love the university. He'll be back. I don't think this is the right time, Webber said. But when Harbaugh asked him again recently while Webber was making a charity appearance, he committed to coming back for a football game this fall. I thank him for asking me, Webber said, and I definitely want to show up and have some fun with it. Webber has stayed at arm's length from the university since his Fab 5 days, which ended with an infamous timeout and the Ed Martin booster. He didn't participate in the recent Fab 5 documentary, and he said the only time he's been back on campus was quietly for his cousin's graduation. After I called the timeout, I was on a mission to right every wrong, Webber told Patrick. You want to win a championship. It was never a thing I wasn't going back. It was, I got business to do, and when I come back holding this trophy, I got you, that type of thing. Of course, that championship never came, same as the reconciliation between school, program and former star this fall. That figures to at least start to change.